Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Um, so today I was going to about karam actually. I want to open this space up to understand what do we mean by karam. Yeah, because now, as of the 20th of April, with the solar eclipse, things are starting more light, more dirt. Right? That's the way it works. More light, more dirt. And that more light, more dirt is more to do with ourselves in our own psyche. Yeah, in the famous words of Bob Marley, you can run away, but you can't run away from yourself. That kind of space. We need to face what we need to face. Need to kind of go through it, work with it, transform it. Can't escape what we can't escape. Yeah. So that's the space we're entering now. And so I thought maybe we'd talk about karam. What does it mean to enter in this space? More light, more dirt. So it's to do with karam. Actions, what you sow, what you reap. What you sow, what you reap, and how it works, right? So maybe we'll open this out as we go along over the next few weeks. And it's an interesting idea. It's a really interesting idea. And it's the most misunderstood idea in the world. Because the idea here is I do something now and I will get the rewards in my next life. No, this is just rubbish. It's not. It's now. It's now. Yeah, but we'll expand on that from next time we meet. But let's talk about three centers that are considered within certain traditions to be really, really important. So you have the head. So in the Japanese tradition, the head, heart, hara, hara harakari. Yeah, if you know anything about World War One, well, whenever the Japanese were involved, I think two, World War Two, um, and if the pilot wanted to kill themselves, the way they did it was they placed a blade here, and you wouldn't feel it, and you push in and you walk into the blade. It's called harakari. Harakari, killing the hara, yeah, cutting the hara. When you do qigong, tai chi, something like this, you have an energy center there called dantian, one a little bit lower, and the sound like ha comes from there, comes from that center, and it's a different quality to it. It's got a punch to it, right? Because it comes from that energy center. The hara can become displaced. So there are massage techniques to put it back into place. Taran, I think it's called in Taran. It's called in the tradition. So there are people who know how to put this back together. It tends to happen with women more than men, but it tends to happen. Again, the what we tend to do is we tend to live in our head and forget a couple of other ways that life communicates with us. When you feel fear, where do you feel it? It's in your stomach. Gut feeling. Gut feeling. So in your hara center, you have a number of neurons, like nerve cells. In your heart center, you have about a 40 to 50,000 of them, and then you have some in your physical brain itself. Each one communicates in a different way. Where you have nerve cells, you have memory. All right. So to prove this idea, it's very easy. If you take the heart out of one person and put it into the other, you will find the characteristics of that person's heart loved things are transformed into the other. Music, art, whatever. Blood transfusions. Blood transfusions have been known to change people's personality. Why? Because everything has a memory and cells have a memory. It's not actually the cell that has a memory, it's the water in the cell. Right? So, a Japanese guy again called Dr. Asuru Moto. He did this great piece of experiment. He took a glass of water, split it in half. He had beautiful words said to one glass of water, ugly words said to the other, froze them both, had a look at the ice crystals under the dark microscope, and found that when you speak with love to water, then it impacts the crystal structure of that water. And if you are violent with your words to water, then the crystal structures become oily and they become distorted. If you expose, then he took this a step further and exposed it to words, just written words. Mother Teresa, whatever, different words that he's used. And he found that the same effect would happen. Now, if we have 700 trillion cells in our body, each one of those cells has water in it. Each one of those watery bit is charged, there's like a battery charge in it. Then you can imagine that if my electricity, my charge comes close to you, it's going to affect you. Yeah. So, because we live here in the head and forget the heart and the hara center, we leave ourselves exposed. Yeah. It's like going outside naked and therefore you're exposed. So, if you do a bit of meditation, do a bit of yoga, something like that in the morning, it's like wearing a cloak. Yeah. It just strengthens your EM field and all that stuff, strengthens, puts everything into place. So, when you have any situation, any kind of disalignment, it's always because you've abandoned yourself, right? So, so if I was to ask you, when did your life actually begin? When? Can you point and say that's the time it began? Could we say that when the heart began to beat, first organ, 6 weeks in, first organ, 6 weeks in, doesn't mean the cells weren't alive before. They were alive in the mother, they were alive in the grandmother, right? But you as an entity, when do you think you began? And you would say, well, it's probably at that point. Probably at that point when the heart began. Why? Because the heart is your center. Heart begins, then from the heart, this heart space, you go upwards and the mouth, the palate of the mouth, and the baby kind of, forms itself. So there's a relationship between the top of your palate with your heart, with your hara center. So when you do certain meditation exercises, they'll tell you to put your tongue up. Why? Because of that space. So we become disaligned. Our heart is going one way, our gut's telling us something else, and the head is trying to make sense of it all. We don't listen to the heart because the heart is asleep. To wake that part of you up, there are certain practices that need to be done. First is to align the mind, the breath, and emotions. The second bit is to wake up heart intelligence. Look, if you have a really smart neighbor, but you never talk to them, what's the point of having a smart neighbor? No. The same is true for your heart. Yeah. We don't talk to it. We don't ask it. We say, well, my heart tells me this. No, we don't ask it. We don't communicate with it. It's shouting at us, but we don't communicate with it. So, as an experiment, if you want to try this out, a little bit of meditation with your heart in the morning, and just ask yourself anything. How should I prepare today? And see what happens. And see what happens. And we begin to realize, no, there's more to us than just this chatter. Much more to us. The heart has its own capacity. In fact, the heart is your center. And the moment you move away from your center, doesn't matter what else you do, that bit will always keep you disaligned. So we become centered at the heart, which brings the gut centered and brings the head centered, because it's the middle point. Yeah, we forget that. Like the breath is the connection between the mind and the body, the physiology. The heart is the connection between the head and the hara center. So this part, the reason it's kept safe in many traditions, in the warrior tradition in particular, is because it's very vulnerable. Let alone a blade, but just the right strike at that point can make someone completely incapacitated. if not kill them. So there are certain things like iron shirt, like certain techniques that are known, which are to use these points. So this point, extremely sensitive. But you will find that people go and pierce it, don't understand the implications. Don't understand the implications. The implications are long term, not immediate, long term. So it's important to protect this. And if you have pierced it, it's important to get rid of that bloody stuff and heal that part of the body. Yeah. Things that can be pierced and worked well are ears and the nose. Do you know why? All right. Next time you're in a foul mood, next time you're in a foul mood, grab your ears and just squeeze them. Just the lower of your skin. You want to change your mood, grab your ears and just squeeze them for about 20 seconds until they kind of burn almost. And you will find that your mood begins to shift, right? Used to also represent wisdom. Yeah, long ears, wisdom, right? So they used to cut ears to make them longer. But it's also to do with the meridian channel. So all your organs, my organs, are connected to to the shape. In fact, if you look at the ear is like an upside down fetus. So all organs are connected in that same space. So if you know about ear acupuncture, you can do stuff with your ears that will enable you to make other modifications, right? Again, we're ignorant about this stuff. The piercing of the nose was to help, in particular, women with their menstrual cycle and childbirth, because there's an energy channel that goes through that. So it also prevents miscarriages. So yogic history tells us, right? I'm not saying I'm not the expert in it, but in my research, I've kind of gone down this road. But the ear thing definitely works, right? So I suggest you try that. So head, heart, hara. How do we begin to kind of first become aware of it? So with meditation at the moment, we're just becoming aware, we're calm, we're silent. But with this meditation, we also need to become sensitive to which center is speaking to me. Yeah. Your heart will tell you things so quickly. Yeah. Intuition. All right. Three ways to know things. You have to go in all sorts of different directions. Three ways to know things. Maybe four. But all right. One, senses. I have to see something to know it. Two, thinking. Think about 2 + 2 = 4 after know something. Both of them need time. Okay? I see you and I need to know, then I will go into my memory bank to bring something out to become to be able to relate to you. But there's a time difference, right? If I'm thinking, oh, when did I see you last? There's a time difference. But I see you and intuitively know, hey, you're feeling good today. But I don't know how I know that. Its intuition is like that. Intuition does not take senses and does not take thinking. That's how you know it's intuition. The moment the mind says, did it happen? Am I saying, you know you've gone out of it, right? So that's that. The gut doesn't speak to you in the same way. The gut speaks to you in a different way. Its language is slightly different. And the language of the heart is emotional. The language of the gut is identity. So your chakras, another little bit on the side here, your chakras reflect the different aspects of your state of being, right? You know, being rooted, identity, self-esteem, compassion, love, expression, knowing, that kind of thing. When your lower chakras are weak, when we are weak with our identity, someone threatens you, yeah, you will feel it here first because it's identity. So someone speaks to you and you feel it here, not here, you know it's your identity that's shaking. Yeah. So we begin to listen. We begin to listen, become more tuned to how we are responding to what's going on around us, and you'll find your quality of life improves. And the reason it improves is because you're not listening to this thing all the time and not being influenced. Yeah, not being influenced. You know, a couple of If I said to you, oh, imagine you've lost your mobile phone with all your car keys and everything. Soon you'll start feeling panicky. And if I said to you, imagine your best friend coming to take you out for dinner tonight, you feel elated. Why? I just suggested a couple of things to you. So if I can do that and make you have an emotion, everything else is doing the same. So we only use very limited senses. We don't listen to ourselves. But in order to listen to ourselves, first I have to know I've got a neighbor that speaks to me. So head, heart, hara. Three centers, give them all time. Massage this one, sit with this one, and sit with the breath to make the mind still. Enough? I think so. Okay. Okay. So we'll begin with our meditation as ever. Um, so again, maybe what we do is with our meditation, we kind of go in different spaces and see how we can relate to these three centers, right? So as usual, eyes are closed, mouth is closed, and back is straight and upright. Make sure your shoulders are not hunched. And if you just bring your focus towards your chest, does it feel open? And if you were to just make the intention to smile, holding your focus at your chest, notice what happens, if anything. Yeah. Enabling our chest, enabling our heart center, our hirda. Not the heart, but what lies behind the heart, the hirda, to open up. Just focusing your attention on your heart allows the body to calm down. Okay. So we'll begin with the meditation. Next breath in. Bring your focus now to your body as a whole. And all you want to notice at this stage is simply what's going on with the body. Any aches, any pains, any tightness, any itches. And locate it. Just simply locate it. No judgment and no commentary. Notice your posture. Are you comfortable? And if you need to change your posture in some ways to make you comfortable, feel free to do so. And now setting your intention. And your intention is simply to become present as best as you can. Present to what is happening with you at this moment, your experience of life. So bring your focus gently down to the seat you're on. And let's begin with locating ourselves. So you will notice that the seat holds you. And because it holds you, you can allow yourself to soften a little bit, to be held. And then you will notice that where the body makes contact with whatever you're sitting on, there are sensations. And we're going to use those sensations as an anchor, bringing our focus to those sensations, anchoring it to those sensations. And then from there, as you breathe in, allow this awareness to gently move up towards your hips. And again, just sit in awareness with your hips, scan, And then the next breath out, you bring your focus down your thighs. Again, take your time. You want to know what's going on with this part of the body. There is a curiosity. And then from your knees, you move down towards your ankles. Again, making sure that you scan the back of your legs, moving all the way down to your ankles. And then from your ankles, notice your foot. Notice each foot if you wish, just becoming aware of them. And then gently moving your focus to the soles of your feet. Remember, all you're looking for is sensations. Not what's right and what's wrong, just what sensations are present. Bringing your focus back to the seat you're on. And then just take a moment to notice the back. Straight, upright. And then as you breathe in, you bring your focus gently up your back, moving towards your middle back. From your middle back, you move up towards your shoulder blades. And then resting your focus on your shoulders. When you come to your shoulders, see if you can soften them a bit. Allow them to relax a little. And then from your shoulders, you move down to your elbows again, making sure that you scan the top of your arms. Moving down from your elbows to your wrists. Notice the palms of your hands. Hold your focus there. Notice your fingers. And then bringing your focus towards your eyes. Ensuring that your eyes are softened. Notice the darkness. Identifying awareness. The awareness that you have of the back of your eyelids. Scanning around your eyes. Scanning behind your eyes. And then as you breathe out, you allow this part of the body to soften, allowing the breath to soften as it leaves. And on the next breath in, bringing your focus to your mouth. Notice your lips. Gently moving your focus within your mouth. Notice where the dominant sensations are. Roof of your mouth, inside your cheeks, or the tongue. Scanning your tongue from the back all the way to the tip. Allow it to soften. Allow your jaw to soften. And then on your next breath out, you allow your face to soften. Next breath in, once again becoming aware of your whole body as best as you can. And on your next breath in, deliberately moving your focus within yourself. Notice your mental space first. What's dominant there at the moment, if anything? Do you feel alert or do you feel drowsy? Clear or cloudy? And then moving your focus to your chest. Hold your focus at your chest as best as you can. Begin to notice the movement of your chest in rhythm with your breath. Now, gently moving your focus a bit deeper into yourself, right in the very center, your very heart. And as you hold your focus there, begin to notice how you're feeling. How does it feel to hold your focus here? Do you feel settled? Do you feel unsettled? Next breath out, opening your awareness to all the sounds and noises around you. listening. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose, simply sitting with your breath, watching the in breath moving in, watching the out breath moving out. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing out. Allow your breath to breathe by itself. When you find that your focus has been distracted by away from your breath, by a sound or my voice or a noise, notice the distraction, come back to your breath. Your commitment is to stay with your breath as best as you can. Stay with your breath. On your next breath in, follow your breath all the way to your belly button. As the breath comes in, you follow it down, becoming aware of the sensations around your belly button, or that part of your stomach. Holding your awareness now at the Hara center, allowing the breath to come and touch that center. Notice how you begin to feel as you hold your focus around the Hara center. Do you feel more grounded? Do you feel less grounded? becoming aware of the sensations that are present there. Opening your communication channel. Begin to listen. Gently bring your focus back just beneath your nose and begin to follow your out breath all the way till the end. You are curious as to exactly when it finishes. Following your out breath all the way till the end. Notice how you're breathing. Does the breath flow smooth or does it feel rough? Now, as best as you can, bring your focus to the sound of your breath. Begin to listen to it. Listening to the in breath, listening to the out breath, as best as you can. On your next breath out, once again, just opening your awareness to all the sounds around you, allowing any sound to come to you. You want to listen with your whole body, not just with your ears, so to speak. Allow the next bell to take you into the deep core of your center, as though you're listening from your heart. Gently bring your focus just beneath your nose, sitting with your breath in silence. On your next breath out, expanding your awareness to include your whole body once again. Notice how the body feels. Bringing your focus to the chair or the seat you're on. Notice you're still held in place. Sensations where your body makes contact with the seat. And once again, using those sensations to move our focus up towards our hips, gently moving down our thighs towards our knees, from your knees moving down to your ankles. Notice your feet. Notice the front of your feet. Notice the sole of your feet. Bringing your focus back to the center. Your back is straight and upright. Your shoulders, arms, hands are relaxed and comfortable. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, and your face is relaxed. Bringing your focus back to your breath. And now, as the breath comes in, you sense your body. As the breath goes out, you sense your body. Breathing in, you feel peaceful. Breathing out, you feel peaceful. Now, just making the intention to smile. And when you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a slow, deep breath in, and then gently opening your eyes, bringing some of that peace back with you.